Hey guys, Joe Tatuski here. Okay, so you remember that video? I believe it was the last one. I was in the ER, and the one I was in the ER, and they said I had torticollis. Hey guys, Joe Tatuski here. I'm in the ER. This is like the 5th time or 7th time this month. I've had a bulging, I don't know, lump or something on my neck. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I've had a cervical spine that is swollen and hardened, and I was just here yesterday, pronounced with degenerative disc disease, and I'm waiting to find out what my CAT scan results are. So far, they've done blood and urine and all these other tests, and everything seems to come out okay. So I'm just keeping my hopes up and taking this 1 minute at a time, but I will be getting back to you guys and letting you know exactly what the results are. Thank you. Hey guys, no Tatuski. It's about 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm just about leaving the hospital, and I got my diagnosis finally, and thank God it's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor. It's not a mass. It's not a cyst. It's not nothing like that. From what I could tell, it is, or what they said I have, is torticollis, which is a problem with the neck muscles. And these guys have just been so great to me at this hospital. Even the security guard here has just come and brought me some coffee. But I appreciate everybody for watching, and I will get back to you and keep you informed. Thanks for watching. Well, let me tell you a little funny story about this. So, something just doesn't feel right. You know, at the beginning of February sometime, I went to this dentist right over here on 103rd and Central in Oak Lawn. A dentist named Jerry, or is it Jerry? I don't know. I'll put his name in the box below. But I went to the dentist right over here on 103rd and Central. I would not advise going to him. But I went there and got my wisdom tooth and a molar on the bottom right jaw extracted. And I thought I was doing a lot of good, you know, for myself, trying to get the decay out of my mouth and, you know, get my mouth going again. I need to get dentures. I don't have the greatest teeth in the world. Look at this. Yeah, people stealing carts and scrapping the metal off of them. Anyway, so I got the teeth extracted. I didn't take my antibiotics right, and I ended up getting an infection somewhere in my body. It was weird. I felt it in my throat, in the back of my throat, my head, and my neck. My neck ended up swelling. I said, "Oh my God, what the fuck is that?" You know, how does your neck swell like that? You know, and all this other shit. And freaked me out, you know, really bad. And I started getting real bad muscle spasms and contractions, and weird things, you know, were happening on my back, my shoulders, my arms, my head. You know, I felt numbness and tingles in my fingers and my legs and my toes. You know, in my forearms, I felt like my lymph nodes swell up, and you know, that's when I really started saying, what the hell's going on, you know? So I went to the ER. I went to Little Company of Mary over in Evergreen Park, Illinois. And, okay, now the first time this was kind of my bad. I talked to the doctor, and I told her that what happened, and that I started taking my antibiotics again. And, you know, she felt pretty confident that, you know, there was nothing else going on. No retrofrenal genial abscess was her concern, and she wanted to give me a CT scan of the neck. Okay, well, turns out you wouldn't have seen it anyway, because I did get the CT scan later on, but I'll get to that. So after saying I didn't want the CT scan and seeing my blood work and her saying everything was all good, I decided that I was just going to finish out my course of antibiotics and see what happens. So I finished it out, and as time went on, I kept noticing pain in my back and my shoulders, and it was just really, really bad pain. And I couldn't believe it. You know, my jaw was tensing up all the time, and I thought it was TMJ, temporal mandibular joint syndrome. You know, it's kind of typical after you get your wisdom tooth extracted or your bite is off. And like I said, I'm missing a lot of teeth. And here comes a train. Hold on one second. Ha. Yeah, it's loud. These things have been going in and out and in and out. Day in and day out and day in and day out. My fucking pants ripped just a second ago, too. Shit. Okay, but back to the story, and I'll finish it now. I'll get over here where I can be heard better. So I go into the ER, and I leave, and I take and finish the antibiotics. Shit! My pants ripped really badly. Like all the way up there. Yeah. And it started coming back, the infection. And I was like, what the hell is going on, you know? And like, I just didn't even notice, you know, how much it was affecting my posture and how much it was affecting my jaw clenching. Like, I noticed my jaw clenching all the time, and I had to like stop myself from doing it. I'm like, what the hell is going on, you know? So I ended up going back to the emergency room, and it was in the middle of the night. My kids had viral gastronitis, and like a little stomach flu 24-hour bug, and they ain't never been sick before. I've never seen them get anything before, so we just took them in the ER, you know, to make sure, yeah, they were all right, you know. We're in the between shirts kind of right now. By the time we were able, see, our insurance was switching on April 1st, and by the time we were able to get an appointment at our original PCP that we had picked, they were going to switch us on April 1st to somebody else. So we had to wait till April 1st anyway, just to make the appointments because there was no emergency for them. But in the meantime, back to me. So I went back into the ER after I took them in there. I was there all night. I was so worried because I felt so shitty. I felt so much pain. I thought I was dying of cancer. You know, I don't know what I'm feeling, why my lymph nodes started swelling, what was going on, you know. So the doctor there was really rude. He was an older gentleman, and I don't have his name right now, but I'll put it in the box below. And he diagnosed me with lymphadenitis, dental caries. Now, I have some bad teeth, and everybody in my family has some bad teeth, and nobody gets sick like this, you know. I mean, we all, you know, use oral care, you know, but okay, beyond the point. So all he did was talk to me. He did no x-rays, he did no blood tests, he did no CAT scans, no MRIs, nothing. And I said, okay, well, I you know, told him, you know, I don't know what's wrong, you know. He's like, what are you waiting for, cancer to kill you? You know, he's like, you gotta quit smoking, and, you know, and I'll give it one thing, you know. He did open my eyes a little bit to quitting smoking. You know, since this all happened, I have quit smoking officially. Officially, I have not touched a cigarette. I will not touch a cigarette. Nobody can convince me otherwise. There's nothing cool about it. It is bad for you. It's reckless. If you're a parent and you smoke, quit now. It's reckless. Your children will thank you in 20 years. Promise. Anyway, so I get back to my story, you know, and he sends me out of there. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. My wife's worried to hell. What's going on? I got this, you know, swollen lymph gland on my neck, you know, it's huge, or, you know, and this bulge on my neck, and everybody's trying to figure out what the hell it is, you know. So I come back, I say lymphadenitis, you know. I'm like, I don't know, you know, what that means. Dental caries. They think I need to get more teeth pulled. She's like, no, that's not right. I said, I know, I don't know. I don't know what it is, you know. So, I said, well, I'm going to get a second opinion. You know, the next day came. And I went over to Christ Hospital. And at this point, I'm getting pretty worried about what's going on with me. And I tell them, you know, what happened. I didn't finish my antibiotics. I'm worried about some kind of deep infection that's in me. And so they do the blood work, okay? They do, I don't even think they did that, you know? So I'm telling them I'm worried, you know, about cancer. No, it's all right, you go. I tell them I'm worried about cancer, and they think I'm crazy, you know, at this point. And I think there was a couple of younger doctors. I don't remember the names. I'll put all these doctors' names and the information below, you know, so you people know, okay? Because you gotta do your research. When you aren't feeling good, you gotta do your research. Because these people, they get paid whether they diagnose you correct or not, okay? And this is not fair. This is not fair that you should get charged a ton of money, or your insurance should have to pay out a ton of money, and they're not even properly diagnosing people. Okay, so I walked in to the ER, and she, you know, they do all these little physical mobility tests. I tell them about, you know, my dental background, you know, not finishing the antibiotics, finishing them late, you know, and I had a lot of extra antibiotics, okay? So I even took extra antibiotics, and it didn't seem like it was going away. My neck was starting to bulge more and hurt, and I could only keep my head, you know, kind of cocked a little. And they took a look at me, and they asked me all these questions, and they ended up prescribing me Xanax. So, all right, why not? Maybe I'm just a little flustered, you know. Maybe there's nothing going on. Maybe I'm crazy. But man, it felt like I had MS, you know, or Parkinson's disease, you know, where you're all getting shaky and, you know, your head's kind of convulsing uncontrollably. And I said, what the hell is going on here? This is not right, you know? So I take the Xanax. It kind of calms the muscles a little, you know? And say, nah, this isn't good enough, you know? I go in there again, and I'm not sure if I went in there or if I went. I think I only went to Christ once, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I went to Christ in Oak Lawn on 95th Street to the emergency room, and then I ended up going to Payless Community shortly after. I had a dentist appointment to go get 3 more teeth extracted, and I'll put the pictures probably right here at 10 minutes and 55 seconds. Okay, and that's what they looked like, and you see the bright red blood, beautiful, isn't it, you know? And I said, well, you know, somebody said, wow, that blood doesn't look very good, you know, and they were like an RN, but they didn't realize it was coming from an artery, and it freaked me out even more, and I still got this lump on my neck. It's almost a month later. I say, no, something ain't right, you know? Take me to the ER. I called an ambulance. They took me to ER, you know, over to Payless Community Hospital in Payless Heights, Illinois, you know? And these guys are good, you know? I like them. They're nice, friendly, except all they did was a damn x-ray, some blood work. They did a flu swab, but nobody offered me a tetanus shot, ever, okay? And, shit, I might even scan my symptoms and put them all up in here. I have my notes from things that I did, because I took notes on how I was feeling at certain times and stuff like that. Because, I mean, I felt like I was going to die, like I was going to have a heart attack. My kidneys started hurting. You know, I was getting night sweats. I mean, you name it, man. You start looking this shit up, and you're all of a sudden, you're like, oh my God, I'm dying. So they did all the tests. They say, well, all we can see is that you have degenerative disc disease. I said, great, that's wonderful. You're diagnosing me with what? Maybe it's a bulging disc. I don't know. Nobody was specific, you know. They just generalized degenerative disc. I said, what the hell? That can't be right. My neck is so damn stiff. I feel like I'm dying, you know. My nerves are tweaking. So they prescribed me some Motrin. Yeah, they give me Motrin. So just take some Aleve or some Motrin, you know, and try to hot compress on it. Oh, okay, hot compress. Not a great idea, by the way. But still not the root of everything. And I go the very next day. I say, it's not right. It's not right. I go back in. I go talk to him again, to the ER. And I'm sure at this point they think I'm a fucking loon. But they run a CAT scan just to make sure of my neck. And they say they got the area where there's a bulge, you know. Say, all right. They end up giving the CT scan. I get the results, and he tells me, and that's where the video, below the video, the previous video. If you look back, it was Joe's in the ER, Joe Tascacusti's in the ER. That's where they gave me the diagnosis, torticollis. They saw nothing abnormal in my neck. I said, how could you not see anything abnormal? That's not normal. They said, well, it's spasmodic torticollis. Here's some Valium. And you're going to have to, they gave me something else too. I forget, maybe it was a muscle relaxer, I think so. So I'm like, all right. So I start taking that, and I think, well, maybe that's it, But something just didn't feel right. I kept getting sicker and sicker. And I'm like, I felt like it was Parkinson's disease, So after all this is done, I finally get to the time where I was able to get into my PCP's office, Jerry Coltro, over in Chicago Ridge, Illinois. And this guy, I mean, we had problems with him to just trying to get an appointment, let alone having anybody there or his nurse or his staff understand our situation, And I go in and talk to him one day, and he orders some blood and urine tests, He wants my thyroid examined. He wanted to see, try to find out what was going on. And pretty much the only thing he told me was I had low levels of vitamin D. And I said, what? That can't be it. I said, why is my back twitching and, all this stuff? And he wouldn't even prescribe me nothing. He said, oh, you just take some Motrin for this. I'm like, Motrin? So, okay. Whatever. So, comes, heck and high water, and I'm taking these antibiotics still from the dentist a few days before. And I have an appointment because now my new PCP is going to take me about a week later, right after I finish my antibiotics. Okay, and at this time, I'm starting to feel the neurological problems and the neuralgia of the nerves happen once again. And I say, this is not right, And I go to my new doctor and I tell him, because like the night before I felt my airway kind of closing on me in my nose and my face. And I knew it's not long after that before it starts killing you, it's already killing me. My PCP, both of them, they had both had my records. I brought them with me to the new PCP, every record that all these hospitals had together. So then I did that, and I gave it to him, and he asked me, he goes, have you had any anxiety or anything? I said, any meds for that? I said, yeah, I tell him my whole past. He says, well, you're not feeling anything, this is, what you need is some Paxil. I said, what? Okay, I'll give it a go, And this is going on, and I don't have an appointment. I got a dentist appointment in about 2 weeks, so I know I'm not going to make it that far without the amoxicillin or some kind of penicillin or something, And I go home that night, and I tell him and this guy at the new office is Dr. Edward Rebecki, okay, over at the Oak Lawn Medical Center at 95th Street in Oak Lawn, Illinois. Okay, this dumb, excuse my language, sir, again tries to make me feel like I'm crazy. Okay, I am not crazy. I know what the heck I'm talking about. I don't know what they think they're doing. These guys should not be prescribing medications. Anyway, I tell them everything. I have a list. I have times. And so now over at this doctor's office. Now, he's maybe my age, like 35 to 38 years old. Couldn't be more than that. When I went into his office, you know, I had a list ready, and I'm going to put a picture of the list in here, of all my symptoms, of everything I thought it could possibly be. And first off, I talked to him, and I thought I was going to be talking to him about a pharyngeal abscess, a dental abscess that might have happened during the extraction, the first extraction over at the guy on 103rd and Central. I still can't remember his name. But I talked to him, and I told him all my symptoms and everything, and, you know, I gave him my medical work from all these hospitals, and, you know, I told him, I said I was on amoxicillin, you know, I was on amoxicillin while they took my blood test, you know, and even now, I just finished taking my script from the dentist, and this shit keeps coming back every time. I don't know what it is. It's got to be some kind of bacterial infection. He says, no, it's not. You know, all your tests show everything's okay. I said, but my kidneys are failing. I said, this is not right, you know. He said, well, what we're going to do is give you a prescription for Paxil. Actually, he called it by its other name, I think generic name, Paxileni or whatever it is. I don't know. But I was like, all right, you know, okay, I'll see. You know, it's anxiety medicine, sure, you know. I mean, the shit was giving me anxiety. Yeah, try having all your muscles, I mean, like, just die, like, tensing up so much on you that you can't do anything. And, is this shit recording? I can't even tell if it's recording. Yeah. Let's see. 5, 7. Yep, okay, good. Yeah, so, I mean, I was just so tense, and, you know, he came in, he pushed around on my stomach, and, you know, checked my glands, and I told him, yeah, that whole side of my neck has been numb for a month, man. Like, he didn't even care. He didn't pay attention, just didn't care. And, you know, even after feeling it, my neck was swollen. I mean, like, I have pictures, and I'm putting in pictures, probably in here somewhere, of my neck lump. And, he still thought that was normal after a month and a half of having that neck lump on my neck, at minimum a month, okay? Because I could have reported it, you know, in my documents from March 6th that I went to the hospital complaining of neck pain, a neck lump, you know, bacteria infection. I have all this paper saying this stuff. I give him the same thing, you know, so he's not reading my complaints, he's reading the results. Okay, and I tell him I'm on amoxicillin while I'm getting all these tests. So instantly, this should have been a red flag to him. Okay, this is going to adjust the results in a blood test taking amoxicillin. If he doesn't think so, he's out of his freaking mind. He shouldn't be practicing medicine. So he tells me, I started complaining, you know, yeah, I kept getting swelling in my OCCUPTIAL glands in the back of your head, and there's 2 of them, there's 1 on each side, and he told me there was no such thing, you know. I said, oh, okay, maybe I'm mispronouncing it, but I know there is. I said, I can feel them back there. He goes, no, those are the bony bumps in your head. No, this isn't by my skull, man. This is lower in my neck, you know, by where the neck is really tense. He said, it's only really tense on one side. It's really strange, you know. He says, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to prescribe you this Paxil, and I'm going to see you in a month. In a month, I would have been dead. Okay? There was no way. Because my next dentist appointment was is in a month from that, too. It was April 30th. And so I called even my dentist up, and this can be confirmed with my dentist over at, it's this place, it's on 87th and Central Avenue. Central Avenue. A really, really nice little dental place. But I went in, you know, when he did that, I got home and I made another appointment for my dentist. I tried to get it as soon as I can, and the closest one I could get was April 28th. So I said, okay, I'm going to end up back in the ER again. I don't know what this bacteria infection is, but it's a really bad one, you know. And I even had a friend trying to help us via text messages who is an RN over in Denver. His name is Renee Garza. And we were sending him all the medical records. We were sending him all the information that we had and telling him about all my symptoms. And, you know, he wanted to send me to he told me to talk to him about going to a hematologist to find out. And, I mean, that would have been a better direction than this way this Rebecca guy sent me, you know. He did me with some antidepressants and anti-anxiety. And look at how easy they are to prescribe those. You know, I'm a pretty normal guy. I couldn't be more sane, and that's how he treated it. So, you know, I went home that night, and they faxed my prescription in, and I didn't quite get it yet, you know. I said, okay, I got an idea. Let's try this. I'm going to go online, and I'm going to look and see what I can find, you know, after all of this has been said and done. You know, and then I started noticing, you know, okay, yeah, that's right. It shows my kidneys were in real bad shape. And I went back and looked at the numbers. It said soon, you know, if I didn't do something about this, I was going to be on kidney dialysis. And, I mean, that's something, or, you know, I would have been at stage 4, you know, for kidney failure. I said, no way, I'm 35 years old. I have no history of drugs or drinking or problems. You know, this is ridiculous. What are these people thinking, you know? I should be at, like, stage 1, you know? And, stage 0. And, so I started looking up, you know, neck pain, kidney failure, and stiff neck, kidney failure, and locked jaw, because my jaw was locking up. And all of a sudden, tetanus pops up. And I said, are you fucking kidding me? So I immediately sent an email to my nurse, to the nurse's station. It says, you know, send an email on their website. So I sent them an email explaining to them how I thought it could be tetanus and that I need to get a tetanus shot. So what I did was I sent them an email, and they waited till the morning. I told them to call me immediately. I'm worried that it's tetanus and it's killing me. And they think that I'm crazy already because he prescribed me Paxil. So I must be crazy if he says so. This is why he shouldn't be a doctor. But they didn't ever call me back. It was about 10:30. I waited. They opened at 9. Waited about an hour and a half. You know, I figured it's an emergency. If this guy might have tetanus, we should call him back pretty fast. Well, they didn't call me back. They neglected to. So I called them at 10:30. And I said, well, is there a chance it could be? No, it's not tetanus. It's in your head. I said, well, it can't hurt to come in and get a tetanus shot, can it? And they said, you know what? No, it can't. I said, well, great. I'm gonna come in and get a tetanus shot if that's all right. They said, yeah, you can come in and get it. I said, okay. So I went in there and explained to them how I think it's tetanus and I wanted a tetanus shot. And the woman, you know, I told her, I said, I think I'm supposed to be prescribed some antibiotics after this, or some kind of anti-toxin medication. And she didn't say anything about it. You know, oh no, the doctor's not prescribing any antibiotics today. I said, oh, okay. Well, oddly enough, she did give me the shot, and within an hour, I already felt it working through my body, like almost like a fizzle through my bloodstream, through my muscles, through my organs, everything. You know, I felt my body becoming like immune to this bacteria that was killing me, and I couldn't stop. I just felt amazingly much better. I felt my neck starting to go down, and immediately, right now, my neck feels great, 1,000,000 times better than that. Holy God, I was dying, and that's pretty much that. I couldn't believe it, and still, this is going on to this day. I emailed the doctors this morning or last night in the middle of the night, you know, saying I think I need something for the toxic stuff that's in my system. According to the web pages, it says I need to be on antibiotics after having tetanus and to be on this other stuff that's for the toxins that are in my system. No callback, not a single callback. So this is where I'm calling my cards. I got a few weeks until I've got another appointment with them. I might have to go back to the emergency room and tell them the situation and see if I can get treated for the toxins that are in my system. And hopefully they understand, but somebody's gonna real soon, because I need to get help. I need to get an attorney. This is not right. I shouldn't have gone through any of this. You know, the funny part is when I was at Christ Hospital on the day that the one woman prescribed me Xanax for my tetanus, I heard them offer other people tetanus shots, and they didn't offer me one. I heard them offer another patient, and they walked up and gave him a tetanus shot and everything. Oh, you're supposed to, don't worry, you're good for the next 10 years. You know, so, and I didn't think of it then. You know, I haven't had a tetanus shot since I was in high school, probably. I haven't had a need for it. None of my jobs, I never got hurt. I've been in pretty darn good health besides stomach issues, in which I've now found out because of tetanus that I have an umbilical hernia. As my muscles started to uncontract from the disease dying, or the bacteria dying in me, I felt an inflammation of my gut, and I felt the hernia to the upper right area of my belly button. And so I'm assuming it's a hernia at this point, but it's because my dad has one as well in a similar area. But I'm willing to bet I've had it for a long time, and this just made it really worse. And I just can't believe I'm going through this shit, you know? Yeah, so I've still yet to hear back from the doctor, and at this point I'm trying to find an attorney who will help me out. I've documented everything, all my conversations, all my chief complaints that I had. I was posting them on Facebook, and I made the video in the emergency room over at Payless, and I got all my paperwork for all the hospitals. Luckily I got that all together already and scanned everything in. But yeah, wish me luck, guys, and thanks for watching.